Hey everyone, today we're going to do a tool review for a book for bibliomancy. This is a book by Vickie Verlie, the rock and roll prophetess. And once I can maybe get her permission, maybe we'll do a little bit of biblio with it. Not sure how, maybe a pick of biblio or something like that. I definitely don't want to read like the whole book to you. So this is the first one of many. It's called Transmissions for Humanity, Guidance from Higher Dimensional Beings During This Pivotal Time in Human Evolution. It's absolutely amazing. I've heard her read excerpts of this and just, been mesmerized. I mean, this is like next level type, soul journey type stuff. So I'll go ahead and I'll read the introduction to you, okay? So you have a basic understanding what the book's about. She sort of does this like journal entries, which I think is kind of neat. And we can just do pick and piece of it. Introduction. Growing up near the shores of Lake Erie, I've always loved going to the lake. It's a magical place. Some would write off the high vibes as negative ions. While that may be partially true, there is something more happening there. Perhaps something otherworldly, something beyond our comprehension. I would often get message while relaxing at the lake, usually pertaining to whatever I was grappling with at the time. One cold winter's day in February of 2019, I decided to take a notebook and start taking dictation. What followed was a series of messages and conversations with a group of earth spirits. As time progressed, the communications evolved to include other higher dimensional beings as well. On the day of my first communication, I got a vision of very tall beings wading in the water. They were as tall as a building, and the lake water was only waist high. With the mean depth of Lake Erie being 62 feet deep, that would put their height at over 100 feet. The beings in this first encounter were long and lean and had a pointed head. Immediately I was reminded of the 1960s Japanese television show Ultraman. The beings I saw were not metallic or robotic, as with Ultraman, but rather smooth-skinned and organic-looking. Still, the height and overall body type was very similar to the Ultraman character. Interestingly, I have been drawing pointy-headed creatures since I was a child. Additionally, I have seen art created by several local artists with the same signature pointy heads. Although none of the art was the same as the creatures wading in the lake, it can't be merely coincidence that we all brought forth this kindred imagery. As I began communicating with them, other imagery emerged, different versions of these very large beings. I now realize that they were reaching out to me and trying to communicate for quite some time, perhaps even my whole life. Most notably in the fall of 2016, I saw a strange-looking oil stain that looked like some sort of creature. After posting it on social media, a friend commented that it looked like the forest spirit from Princess Mononoke. At the time, I had no idea what she was talking about. After Googling it, I found a pic that closely resembled my oil stain. I gave it no more thought at the time other than being a cool synchronicity. Around that same time, a strange-looking deer ran in front of my car and into a backyard of a house. It caught my attention because I had never seen a deer quite like it before. After doing a fair amount of research, I concluded that it was a reindeer, and the message was that something was going to happen around Christmas. I knew at the time this wasn't exactly like a reindeer, but that was the closest I could find. My logical mind was tired of looking for a match to what I saw, and a wonderful Christmas gift sounded good to me. Once I began communing with these beings, I saw an image in my mind's eye that was similar to the oil stain in the parking lot a few years before. This prompted me to investigate the Princess Mononoke story further. It turns out that the forest spirit of the animated movie is based on the Japanese legend of the, and I'm so botched saying this, Daidarabachi. This giant forest spirit was said to have created lakes with its footprints and take the form of a deer-like animal. The synchronicity was uncanny, and it all started to make sense now. I realized that they were reaching out to me since 2016. Now, nearly 3 years later, I finally took pen to hand to convey their message. As I opened up to the higher vibrations and my consciousness expanded, I began to get messages from other higher dimensional beings as well. During the course of these sessions, sometimes they would just start talking, and other times I would ask questions. Sometimes the questions were about what was going on in my life at the time. Although their wisdom helped me see things from a higher perspective, I have omitted the majority of those transmissions because of personal details involved. Some still remain because I felt they may have value to others on their journey. The channeled information is in plain text, while my questions and comments are italicized. Their communications have been left virtually unedited as to not distort the original message. So I'm going to be so excited to be able to read from this book and see what messages are most important for us to hear. Like I said, it's done sort of like a journal entry, right? There are no page numbers, so I got to figure out how we're going to do this. I may have to do it intuitively. I could use the dice maybe for the dates, but we'll figure it out. So, Vickie, if you're hearing this, let me know. That's okay. We're going to get the next books as well. And I encourage everyone to pick up this book. You know, if you like what you hear and you feel inspired, there's more to it. We're not going to be doing the entire book, that's for sure. We're just going to be doing selections. All right. There you go, guys. Bye.